Good morning, podcast TWOW.
Hello, we're here. We tried this once earlier and I was too dead, but now I am mildly less dead. So we're here. It's episode 4A, recorded before episode 3C.
Mint, I worked so hard to not say hello at the start of this one, and you just come in with a casual hello. Do you know how much effort it took for me to say good morning, podcast TWOW, instead of hello like I normally do? I'm a changed envy, and here you are trying to encourage my old tendencies.
Hello's just my shtick.
Hello is your shtick now? It's a thing that like billions of people say.
I've copyrighted it. It's mine. You cannot take it. I'm incentivizing you using different introductions. I'm helping you out, Val.
Do you have merch?
I do have merch.
What kind of merch you got? Is it a combination of two household items?
That was last round.
Fine. But speaking of merch, I do want to take a second to make a very special announcement to all of you podcast trial listeners out there. Get excited. Our YouTube's drop is coming this Friday.
Which one of us is it?
It's a horrible amalgamation of both of us.
Oh God, no.
Now in YouTube's form. Stay tuned for the amalgamation of Mint and Val, featuring both of us screaming, featuring that one party reminder thing, and lots of hellos all over the box. I think I have to pay royalties for saying that.
Yeah, you do. I'll be expecting a check in my mail within 3 to 5 business days.
I still haven't gotten paid once since the start of podcast 12, so don't even talk to me about checks.
Don't worry, I haven't either.
Wait, then who's getting the money from the Patreon?
The Howling Abyss. We've talked about it.
Maybe I should stop throwing our money in there. I just want to appease it, you know?
Yeah, I get that.
It's a whole like Ian Minute thing now to just like go to the Howling Abyss and throw money into it.
Does Ian own property rights to the Howling Abyss?
I think he has some real estate in the Howling Abyss. I think he has a house down there.
Oh, nice. We might want to talk to him about that.
It seems pretty nice. Like once you get over the Howling, it's actually like, what's it, like 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom? It's beautiful. It's got like a game room. Like it's got a great living room, lots of chairs. It's really a lovely place.
And because it's in the Howling Abyss, it's always nighttime, so you never have to do boring daytime things like, I don't know, school.
That's true, and that's also awful convenient considering that the only disadvantage of being in the Howling Abyss is the fact that it is not near any sort of public transportation because it's in the bottom of a massive endless pit. So you're not going to be able to get on the train from there without quite a commute.
Yeah, I mean, you do have to hike your way out, which is kind of hard given how loud it is howling back at you.
But after a certain amount of time in the Howling Abyss, you don't really want to leave anymore. Once the howling starts sounding like singing, you know you're really feeling at home.
Spooky. You know what's also spooky, Val?
What else is also spooky, Mint, from Podcast 12?
We're in Spooky Month. It's Spooky Month, the second gayest month, behind, of course, Gay Month.
Well, Spooky Month is I need to find the proper words to capture both the spookiness and the gayness of October. It's my favorite month because it's got just the freaking Halloween vibes and it's super gay, which also describes me.
What more can you ask for?
I successfully got an action figure to hold a pencil, and I'm really happy about that because it's one of those action figures that has movable arms, and I'm making it lift the pencil like a weightlifting thing, and it's really funny, and I wish this wasn't an audio format so I could show y'all, but I guess y'all will just have to picture it. Are you speechless at my ingenuity?
I am speechless at your ingenuity. You know what I'm also speechless about?
Did we both just try to segue at the same time?
Yes.
I was going to say, don't be speechless at our listener questions. Wait, so hold on. I want to figure this out. So at the same time I was saying don't be speechless about them, were you saying I'm speechless about them?
No, I was going to say, you know what also makes me speechless?
What else makes you speechless?
The listener questions.
See, that's the thing. I specifically told you not to do that. You know, that lack of cohesiveness that we have, I feel like if we had to blurt out the same thing at the same time, we'd have a lot of trouble with it, which is why Legend Finder's game thing that he posted is so cool.
I knew you were going to segue into that. But yes, Legend, thank you. You have brought us another game.
Yeah, Legend Finder is such a game connoisseur. He really, he delivers every time with, some really interesting stuff. He's going to rule this podcast someday. It's just going to be all games. Do you want to read the intro or shall I for this?
I can do it. Hey, you! The hosts of Podcast TWOW, let's play Linked Minds. Here's the deal. I give you guys a prompt and you two will blurt out an answer at the same time. The goal is to both have the same answer. You're not allowed to communicate though. That's illegal. I know crime is allowed and whatnot, but this one's a super crime. The prompts will be simple at the top and get more complicated and borderline impossible at the bottom. You can go in any order.
All right, so here's what I'm thinking for this one. We have a list of spoilered categories here. Want to unspoiler number 1 now on your device?
Yeah. Who's the better Podcast TWOW host? I'll count us down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Val.
Danny. All right, so the second question, pick a color, any color. Ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Green.
Yeah, we did it. We got a point. Okay. Number 3 is up or down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Down.
Darn it.
Okay. Number 4.
Think of a number from 1 to 10. We can do this. Come on. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 7. Hey!
We did
Funny
it.
number 7. Fifth question. What's the best Halloween monster? 3, 2, 1. Skeleton.
Ghost. Dang it.
I mean, it's kind of close.
Oh no, okay. This is a very long one. There's been a horrible accident. The mayor of Podville lies bruised on their magnificent velvet couch after a giant chandelier fell onto their big toe. The maid is comforting the mayor. The sheriff is looking for clues. The janitor is shifting his eyes. The chef has a blank stare. The mayor is howling in pain. Who planned the accident? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Danny.
Mayor. What? That makes sense, but
I'm assuming Podville contains all of the contestants and hosts. How about you read question 8, Val?
sure. Suppose all crime was legal for 24 hours. What's the first thing you would do? It's really funny. This is one of the questions because completely unrelated to this. Like I stayed up until like 1:30 a.m. with Deadbread last night talking about this exact question.
Okay.
Like we were just like lying awake, like listing out things and considering it, like every single consequence that would come from this. And so Legend Finder, that's terrifying. Legend Finder asked this. All right, ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1. Steal road signs.
Tax fraud.
Okay, so like freaking like I get where tax fraud's coming from. I get all the different financial crimes you can pull when all crimes are legal for 24 hours, but I would be stealing so many road signs because no one's obeying traffic laws anyway. Like, and road signs are a cool decoration that you're not going to be able to get at any other point in your life.
That's fair. I was between tax fraud and hide.
Hide is also a good point, but like this is also something that I considered a lot. Like I don't think people would be murdering each other all the time. I don't think people just. I don't think that society would collapse as soon as this happens. I feel like people have some degree of like individual responsibility to society that they wouldn't just start killing people. I think there'd be a lot of stealing. I think there'd be a lot more traffic crimes. A lot of people would just be ignoring red lights. That's what people would do. Like I think people would do some mild stuff if all crimes were legal for 24 hours.
Yeah.
Which is why I would be stealing the road signs. Who's going to look at them? All right, want to read us number 9?
Yep. All right, number 9 is what 2 household items would you combine to create a tool that improves everyday life? Thanks for stealing last prompt, Legend. Again, we are trying to do the same thing. Remember that? All right.
Hold on, I need longer than 5 seconds for this.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blowtorch shovels.
Piggy bank hammer.
We took 2 different examples.
Wait, did I accidentally grab the unreleased version?
I mean, it's going to be released by the time people hear this.
Oh, that's true. Wait, was piggy bank hammer was that one of the ones that got?
It was piggy bank axe, and then the old one was camera charging cable.
Right. Yeah. Which I'm still really glad that the answer to that one wasn't just a charging cable for a camera.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want to read out the last question?
All right, 10th one. Why?
Count us down.
3, 2, 1. Because.
Why not?
We both had the snappy response. We're so close. I think we've both proven that we are very out of sync as hosts, and that is fine because that's the dynamic. Thank you, Legend Finder, for trying to tear us apart.
But we got 2 right. We got 2 correct.
Yeah. I almost said Val for the first one, but I forgot that the point was to do the same one, so I said a funny thing instead. We could have gotten 3 if not for my own inadequacy.
Anyways, that's enough of that game. Thank you very much, Legend. But we are going to move on to some other questions. Val, do you have a question that is other?
Well, I do have a question, in fact, because a lot of people ask questions related to Halloween, which is great because this is technically one of the Halloween episodes, such as Ironic Introvert, who asks, what is the best Halloween candy?
Well, I mean, what candies are like, are we talking about like candy bars are off the list? Like, are we talking candies that are specifically around for Halloween?
I mean, I'd say start with like any candy you could get on Halloween and then narrow it down if you have to.
Okay, I mean, like, my answer for that, like, if we're talking Halloween exclusive candy, like, candy corn is pretty good, in my humble opinion. I know some people dislike it to bits, but I'm a fan. In terms of, like, just overall candy, Milky Ways are the shit.
I never considered that candy corn is Halloween exclusive, but it totally is, and I agree that it's really good. Milky Ways are definitely fantastic. I'm more of a Snickers comrade myself.
Hmm. I don't know, it's just like Milky Ways. They got the nougat. There's so much of it. They got the nice bit of caramel. It's Three Musketeers, but better. And the dark
That's a good
chocolate,
point. It definitely
the
is Three
dark
Musketeers
chocolate
with me.
The dark chocolate Milky Ways are even better because they got the vanilla nougat and the dark chocolate outside. It's so good. It's so good.
I have a bunch of frozen Milky Ways in my freezer, but they're so frozen that I have to throw them on the floor and shatter them to be able to like eat them.
So they have frostbite.
It's a very brutal display. Like I have to actually just like pick up. Like my dad does the same thing. We pick them up and just toss them on the hard floor a bunch of times until they crack. Sometimes I pound it against the corner of the table and nearly hurt myself trying to get that delicious nougat. And that's why I like Snickers better. But the one thing about Snickers that I don't like is that it has a really weird slogan. Because why would you take this amazing candy, Snickers, and say Snickers satisfies?
Yeah, it's so weird.
It's like
I mean,
it's like if the
you're not you
tagline
when
of
you're.
Podcast Wow were Podcast Wow Audible.
I mean, that's just another service that provides funnies. um, but I mean, you're not you when you're hungry is a good slogan, but they don't put that on the wrapper.
Well, I mean that yeah that's just they said that in the commercial. But I guess they can't fit that on the wrapper. But like if you have to put one word, don't put satisfies. Did they just run out of like words they could put on candy wrappers?
Snickers, Bazinga.
I would eat a Snickers if the slogan were Snickers Bazinga.
Yeah, that would be pretty good. But okay, I think we answered that question pretty well. Another series of questions. Thanks to a combination of Gray and Gizmo, dude. I mean, Gizmo wants us to ask this first. What do you think I will/should dress up as for Halloween, and vice versa?
I think you are going to dress up as a Rocket League car.
I mean, people have made Rocket League car cosplays, and it's a little funny. It's pretty funny.
I think you are going to get into your car and you are going to run over a soccer ball. And then you're going to make a logo for yourself and it's going to be a really cool logo.
How do I make like an animated decal in real life? That sounds very expensive. I don't think I'm
Just
gonna
make one
buy
of
like.
those, you know, like those things where like when you tilt your head, it changes.
That's also still probably pretty expensive to like coat an entire car costume with.
That's a good point, but it better look really cool and also very dizzying to other drivers.
um, what would you dress up as? Let me think. I don't know. You kind of fit like the vampire vibe, honestly. I can see you doing that.
I don't know how to respond to that because I went through my vampire phase when I was like 14. Uh,
It's
I'm
not over
flattered that
yet.
you think I have a vampire vibe though.
Yeah, I don't know what. Nothing. No like stereotypical costumes like come to mind.
I have a weird question about costumes
What is
because
your
I
weird
just
question
thought
about
of
costumes?
so my go-to costume for this year was going to be one of the Blues Brothers from the movie The Blues Brothers, but it just occurred to me: is it possible to dress as Brian David Gilbert for Halloween?
Hmm. I
Like
mean,
I need a suit, and I have a suit.
I do not have a suit, but like, if I didn't pin my hair up, like I kind of have Brian David Gilberty hair already.
I just realized if I want to go as Brian David Gilbert for Halloween, I know what I must do, and it gives me an excuse to do something I wanted to do and buy one of those shirts that says I like eating junk food and playing classic games.
Yes.
I get to I get to have one of those shirts. I put a suit over it. I make my hair all cool, and then I'll be Brian David Gilbert for Halloween. It'll be awesome. I'm gonna see if those shirts are in stock still.
All right. Oh, right. Okay, sorry. It took me a second to remember what shirt you were talking about, but yes, that is a very good shirt.
Is it? Are they still in stock?
I don't know. It's been a while since they were released, but I'd hope so.
Oh no, I think your tweet's been deleted. I don't know if they're still available.
No. You can probably get it on eBay or something.
It's not the same.
You kind of answered the second question, which was, what will you dress up as for Halloween? So you kind of gave yourself two options there. I'm gonna dress up as myself because it has been 2 years since I've gone out trick or treating. I don't know. Like, I don't think I'd dress up as like somebody specific in particular. Like, I don't know. Like, I've fantasized about this a bit, but like, I don't know, spooky like purple and green Halloween dress with like witch hat would be cool. I'd vibe with that.
I'd vibe with you vibing with that. I saw your design for it, and I think you would. I think you would look amazing in one of those spooky Halloween dresses and witch hats.
Yeah, thank you. um, I might see if I can. I'll take a crack at like designing the vaporwave thing for you, but like we shall see.
I admit that I'm a bit distracted by still trying to find that shirt.
I see. I'm a bit distracted by the 3 different people that are DMing me right now.
Why are people DMing you right now?
Why would people not be DMing me right now?
What are they DMing you about? Read your DMs out loud on the podcast.
No.
Okay, I'm gonna put aside my shirt dreams for a moment, even though I must find that shirt. And by the way, if any of y'all have any links to an official copy of the shirt, please let me know. But anyway, getting back to listener questions that people asked us that aren't about cool shirts that I really want, and it makes me really sad that I can't have them. Random alt 123 would like to know, how many digits of pi can you memorize?
I mean, I can memorize a lot more than I have memorized.
How many have you memorized?
Not a lot. 3.141592653589793223846264338327790. That's all I know.
Well, that's barely any.
There's barely any. That's boring. I mean, I had a friend in like 3rd grade who knew like the first 250.
We all have that one friend who just knows all of pi.
All of pi, yes. I was busy spending that time memorizing the periodic table, which turned out to be much more impressive in the long run. And
That's
much
true.
more
That is
practical.
impressive and more practical. I memorized the entirety of Steamed Hams and All Star.
Seymour, the house is on fire.
No, mother, it's just the Northern Lights.
No, mother, it's just the podcast TWOW hosts committing arson in our backyard.
We do that, by the way.
We do. You thought we were gonna wait to get together until like the finale or whatever? No, we've been chilling in the same house the whole time.
Mint, whenever you do arson, when you like burn down a house and you want to measure the temperature to
Let me
celebrate
just check the box
that
saying
the
this
house
is
has been
not for
burned down,
kids.
Random Out 123 wants to know, what's your favorite temperature scale?
Kelvin's where it's at.
Kelvin is where it's at. I'm
It's cool.
legitimately confused that people don't use Kelvin. The thing about Kelvin that I like is that you always know, no matter how bad it is, it could always be worse, and you know exactly how much worse it could be.
Exactly. It's so good. It's so great. It's so epic, and it's like it's the best one for calculations.
Yes.
Like, especially when you're doing like thermodynamics stuff. What better system than Kelvin? It's so good.
I have 2 more questions that I'd like to hit on. The first, both of them I think are going to be from GameyFace46. So first of all, do you have any opinions on the PS5 and Xbox X?
PlayStation 5, more like a PlayStation 5 because it's BS. No, I'm just kidding. I know nothing about consoles.
Wow.
I know nothing about consoles. That was just a joke. You have
I
heard the
also know
joke. The
nothing
joke
about
is over.
consoles. I'm a Nintendo kid. Like, I do know that the Xbox naming scheme is really perplexing.
Yeah, it's kind of scuffed.
I honestly have no idea which Xbox is which.
The only console I've ever owned is an NES, and that's because I recently unearthed it from the basement.
You own an NES?
I do.
Can I come over?
Yeah.
All right, but first, before I go to your house and play Punch Out on your Nintendo Entertainment System, I would like to ask one more thing. Is there anyone you'd like to thank for keeping you sane? That's also from GameyFace46.
I mean, you want to go first on this?
Sure. I'd like to thank you, first of all. I'd also like to thank our wonderful audience for listening to all of our episodes and commenting and giving us questions and generally making life a little bit richer. I'd also like to thank Video Game Donkey, who works very hard to keep me sane, and Wayne Radio TV on Justin.tv.
There is no fridge. I lied. Anyways, like, yeah, you for one, I would really like to thank, because you were epic. Thank you. Again, I agree with you on most of these points. The podcast TWOW audience, thank you for being there even when we were on like hiatus. And I guess big shout out to a certain kitten ruler for being epic. Keeping me company during a lot of time. I said that really weirdly, but like, yeah, genuine shout outs to all y'all. You were very cool.
And with that, I think because I have college very soon, we should probably come up with a prompt. And I have a few thoughts about that prompt.
I kind of forgot that we had to come up with a prompt. I was just gonna be like, all right, that's it. That's the end of the episode. What are your
So I think
thoughts?
some springboard. I think the first like main springboard we can jump off of is candy slogans because I feel like that was a good chance to sort of innovate on something.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, candy slogans, that could be the way to go.
Would invent a candy and come up with a slogan for it be too much to fit into 10 words?
I feel like, I mean, I don't think we should ask to like describe the candy, but like unless it's in the slogan.
Oh yeah, like have like a like name of
Like
candy
they'll be like
slogan.
my candy has blank and blank and the slogan is blank. Like that's too many words.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that could work. Like, yeah, invent
Like
a new
give your
candy slogan.
candy give your candy a name and a slogan.
Yeah, invent a new name and a slogan for a candy. So
Are we gonna have like one of those fun little like 2 paragraph introductions where it's like, you are a candy developer for Hershey Corporation. You have to come up with a delicious new candy to appeal to all those gamer kids out there. What candy are you gonna make and what slogan is it gonna have?
I mean, we could add like a supernatural element to like promote wacky candy ideas. Like
A
the
supernatural element?
the candy lab has come up with something new and spooky. The perfect Halloween treat. What is it called and what is its slogan?
Okay, this might just be appealing to me only, but I have an idea for a fun twist on it. What if it's like you have so you have like the candy labs that come up with this new thing, like they have this amazing idea for a supernatural candy. They need to get funding for it, which is why you need that title and slogan.
Okay, yeah, that can work. And I mean, like, I'm thinking like y'all could like use the slogan to like give hints as to like what the candy does. Like
Sure.
its supernatural element, like makes you
Mint, do you want to come
fly.
up with an example response?
Yeah. Let me think.
Don't think, just feel.
I feel tired. Um,
Feel like eating some candy and making some candy, more importantly.
um, if this is too hard, we might have to come up with something else. Do you have any ideas?
I'm workshopping.
You're workshopping.
The old wheels are turning.
Maybe a slogan. Maybe a slogan isn't the right way to go, but like, yeah, make and describe a new supernatural candy. I feel like that.
Has that been done before? That feels kind of obvious. Like I feel it feels like something someone else might have done.
Hmm. I don't know. I mean, like,
Oh my gosh. I just had an idea.
yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry, I totally interrupted you, but here's what I'm thinking. What if it's instead of making the most appealing candy you can, you're describing the bottom of the bag candy that like the worst person to trick or treat is giving you, and it's still supernatural. But like, why is it
Hmm.
so repulsive?
Okay. Yeah. So you're trick or treating in a strange neighborhood. You go up to one house, you get a piece of candy, you leave. You then take a look at that candy, and you very quickly realize why nobody else has gone up to that house. The candy
What
is
horrible
cursed.
thing have you
Uh,
discovered?
what horrible, what horrible candy have you discovered, and what is its side effects?
I love that. Okay, so it's like
We'll type this out better in announcements when we do release this, but yeah.
I'm trying to come up with an example response. Like, let me count it out. Like, nuclear nuclear lemon drop melts in your mouth and your mouth.
uh, that's a little.
That's not a very good example, but that you get the idea, right?
Nuclear sours dissolve in your mouth while simultaneously spreading radiation.
It's the raddest candy around.
Oh yeah.
All right, so I think we have our prompt, we have our listener questions, we have our Legend Finder fun game, we have our example response.
And we have more than 35 minutes of content. We're going to have to cut this down because it's going to be a super long pre-show.
I'm going to have to cut this down, Marble Mint.
And that's your decision. I can cut it down if you want.
This is foreshadowing.
Anyways, that's a debate for a later time. We should wrap up this episode. This was a fun episode. It was long. I'm still tired, which is a problem because I have an hour before school. But yeah, thanks to you all for listening, for tuning in, and for listening, and for tuning in. And we will see you later. Goodbye.